The Middle East is a land of layered history, deep religion, and endless conflict. But beyond the visible battlefields, there is a quieter war playing out, a war of espionage, sabotage, and strategic strikes. This is the Cold War between Iran and Israel, a rivalry fought in the shadows, across continents. To understand this conflict, we must go back to 1979, the year of Iran's Islamic Revolution. The fall of the Shah and the rise of Ayatollah Khomeini transformed Iran overnight, from a Western-aligned monarchy to a religious theocracy that declared opposition to Israel's very existence. Khomeini called Israel the Little Satan, and from that moment, the two nations were locked in ideological and strategic opposition. Israel, a small state surrounded by hostile neighbors, saw Iran as an existential threat, especially once Iran began developing nuclear capabilities. Iran, in turn, saw Israel as the embodiment of Western imperialism in the Muslim world. What followed was decades of tension, not through direct war, but through proxy battles, covert operations, and cyber warfare. Iran began funding and arming militant groups across the region: Hezbollah in Lebanon, Islamic Jihad and Hamas in Gaza, and Shia militias in Iraq and Syria. These groups not only opposed Israel, but also helped Iran project power close to Israel's borders. In response, Israel built one of the most advanced intelligence and defense networks in the world. But their most famous move? Targeted assassinations. Over the past 20 years, Iranian nuclear scientists began dying mysteriously. Car bombs, snipers, magnetic explosives, each attack more precise than the last. The most dramatic came in 2020, when Iran's top nuclear scientist, Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, was killed just outside Tehran in broad daylight. Reports later revealed it was a remote-controlled gun, likely built with Israeli technology. Iran vowed revenge. But Israel didn't stop there. It launched cyber attacks, including Stuxnet, a computer worm that sabotaged Iranian nuclear centrifuges. Developed with the help of the US, Stuxnet marked the beginning of cyber warfare in the modern age. Meanwhile, the battlefield expanded. In Syria, as a civil war erupted, Iran sent fighters to support Bashar al-Assad. They built military bases, transferred weapons, and entrenched themselves close to Israel's northern border. In return, Israel began bombing those sites hundreds of times over the last decade, without officially acknowledging responsibility. In Iraq, Iranian-backed militias attacked US bases and occasionally hinted at Israel as a target. In Lebanon, Hezbollah, armed with over 100,000 rockets, remained Israel's most immediate threat. And in the Persian Gulf, mysterious attacks on oil tankers, drone strikes, explosions at nuclear facilities hinted at this silent war's global reach. Then came April 2024, Iran launched a historic missile and drone attack on Israeli territory, the largest direct assault Iran had ever attempted against Israel. Israel, backed by the US, the UK, and even some Arab allies, intercepted the majority of the attacks. But it marked a turning point. The Cold War was no longer cold. Shadow war was becoming visible. Yet, even as tensions escalate, both sides stop short of full-scale war. Why? Because both understand the cost. A war between Israel and Iran could destabilize the entire region, from Lebanon to the Gulf, from Gaza to the Red Sea, and more than that, could draw in superpowers like the United States, Russia, and China. So instead, the conflict continues in the shadows, through cyber intrusions, proxy wars, diplomatic chess, and covert missions. This is the other Cold War of the Middle East, a silent but deadly struggle where every strike, every sabotage, brings the region one step closer to catastrophe. And yet, for now, the war remains just under the surface. But for how long?